We are here live at Project Inspire. Welcome, Ed McCarthy, artisan, maker of Cigar Box guitars. Take it away, Ed.
Good morning. I hope everybody's doing okay. Urel and the PIC asked if I would talk a little bit about what inspires me and what it really is, why do I build these things. And I will be honest with you, the very first guitar I ever built, which is this one right here, I built this because I just thought it was really intriguing that you can take a box, literally a beat up old cigar box like this thing, put a stick on this thing. This doesn't even have frets. It was the very first guitar I ever built, so I had no idea how to put frets on this thing. And you can make a musical instrument. Anyway, that's what I did. This is my first one. I experiment on this one a lot. I still play it. I have several of them at home that I play. That's a basic one. It's actually pretty much the main style that I build my guitars out of. The real question though is why do I build these things? And that's a question that I couldn't really answer the very first time I built one of these, because it was purely out of curiosity that I built these things. And I just said, man, I got some skills. I can build one of these. And I did. And it took a little bit of tweaking to get it to sound pretty good. But the reason I like building these, once I started really kind of getting into this and started really tackling the whole idea of building these things and building more. I mean, it's almost addictive to do this. I'm like into the 20s now as far as how many I've built. And there are guys that I know that I really admire. I enjoy their work. There's guys like Del Puckett. There's guys like Shane Spiel, Uncle Mark. There's all sorts of guys out on the internet, on YouTube. If you look them up, they're absolutely outstanding, great musicians. Some of them are absolutely outstanding builders. Some guys stick to the basics. Shane Spiel is one of those guys, but they're not really the inspiration. They give me inspiration building them, but it's not really why I build them. I think what I like about building these things is that you could take simple things. My day job is not too far from here. It's about 50 feet away, and I work with people at an organization called Pueblo Diversified Industries, and I work with people with diverse abilities. And what I've learned, and I've done special education, I taught special education for 10 years and so forth and so on. But what I've learned is that guitars, you can go to the store and buy a guitar, and they're factory made, and they're the same, bam, 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 right off the factory line. Some of them are really well made. They're worth thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, in fact. But what I really like about these is that they're so basic. You could take the simplest things, you could take the most complicated things, you could take odds and ends and put something together that will bring inspiration and joy to people who play them. If you like music, this is probably the simplest way to get started playing music. And I realized that you can piece these things together and make something joyful for other people. And really, that's kind of how life is. And I think that's really my motivation behind all this, is that it's a life thing for me. It's my inspiration. My life is not one homogenous thing where I've done one thing when I grew up and I've been doing that for 50 years. It's been pieced together, with different people, different locations. And that, to me, this is really a reflection of life. Sometimes you would take something as simple as a bolt. This thing has a bolt for a bridge, and it has a bolt up here for a neck. And it has a bunch of holes in this piece of wood, and this has holes in here. I've experimented on it and whatever. It's kind of my experimental piece. But the thing that I've learned about it is that it doesn't matter how good or pretty they look. If they can bring joy to people's lives, whether they're playing them or people are listening to somebody play one of these, that to me, and it's made with things that are just pieced together, then to me that reflects how people are. Real people are pieced together. That's how we're on a journey. And every bit of that journey is really a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I think this is a great reflection, I think, of what life is, in my opinion, it's all pieced together. And your life and my life, we can piece the right things together. There's some stuff we discard. This doesn't work for us anymore. You discard that, and you try to find a way. As I get older, I try to find ways of bringing joy into people's lives instead of misery. And you can kind of get as fanciful as you want with these things. I have one here they're getting a little fancier looking. I have another one here that I really kind of experimented with. This is painted. It's got all sorts of design things going on with it. It's got a King Kong emblem on the back side of it. They're experimentations. This is an amplifier I made out of a cigar box. It's a little bit loud here, but these you can rock out with these things. You can grab the simplest one. This is probably the simplest instrument I've ever built. Is this one? It needs a little work. I got to tune it up, but they're so simple that you invest some time in it, just like we do with our lives and other people. We need somebody that needs help from us. We can piece together some time for them. Piece together. I know I sound like I'm rambling, but these things just represent a lot to me. They represent life. They're kind of packed together, so to speak, and that's how our lives are. And I think that sometimes we just need to see how we can put something together, and maybe if we can help other people in their lives, just piece something together for them. That to me, that's why I build them. I just feel like they're a good reflection of life. I try to make them enjoyable, easy to play, and give purpose to something that we would have discarded. And I think that's what, from the simple of people that we know to the most brilliant, we're all kind of pieced together, and I think that's really these represent.
So that is the why that inspired you, Ed, right?
Yeah.
Well, we are very thankful to have you a part of Project Inspire. Y'all can come out and visit us. We have our gallery store. We're having our Inspired by Love show today. I'll give you a little sneak peek of what's going on here. We have some live working here on our pottery. That's Alyssa Jarrett. We also have Heather Pump here with our paper making and our team. And we have Miss Ladoris here with her sewing and Susan Parker with painting. Again, we are very thankful for you to be here today. Again, thanks, Ed, for the why that inspired you.